Hopefully at this point you're checking your answers to see how you did on this last set. To find the mean, you should have added 10 and 2/10 plus 11 and 5/10 plus 12 and 1/10 plus 10 plus 11 and 2/10 plus 11. So 10 and 2/10 plus 11 and 5/10 plus 12 and 1/10 plus 10 plus 11 and 2/10 plus 11. And when I do that, I get 66. And then I divide by how many values there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. 66 divided by 6 is 11. So my mean here is 11. To find median, we order least to greatest. So first is 10, 10 and 2/10, 11, 11 and 2/10, 11 and 5/10, 12 and 1/10. So my biggest and smallest, my next biggest, my next smallest, I have two middle numbers, and I need to find their mean. So I'm going to add 11 and 11 and 2/10, and get 22 and 2/10, and then divide by how many values there are, 2. And our median is 11.1. A little higher than our mean, but not much. Our mode is the number that occurs the most often. In this case, there's not a single number that repeats. So in this case, we would say that there is no mode. Our range is our biggest minus our smallest. In this case, our biggest was 12 and 1/10. Our smallest was 10. So 12 and 1/10 minus 10 is 2 and 1/10. And our outlier. This is another one of those things. Just like mode, there can be no mode, or there can be more than one mode. In outlier, there can be no outlier, or there can be more than one outlier. In this case, all the numbers seem really, really close together, and so I would say that there's no outlier. There's none. And it says, which measure of central tendency best represents the data? There is no mode, so that doesn't really represent the data much at all. The mean and the median are both really similar. They both show numbers that really seem similar to the rest of the data. But anytime that we can use the mean, because if there are no numbers that are outliers, we would say that the mean is the best measure of central tendency. And so I would say mean because there aren't any outliers. So again, just a quick recap. To find mean, we add up all the values and divide by how many there are. To find median, we order the numbers least to greatest and then find the middle number. If there's more than one middle number, we average the two or find the mean of the two. The mode is the number that occurs the most often, but can be no mode or more than one mode. So if there was a number that occurred, if 85 occurred twice and 86 occurred twice, we could say both 85 and 86 if that was the case. Our range is our biggest number minus our smallest number. Our outliers are extreme high or low numbers. And then measures of central tendency are mean, median, and mode. They're the 3 M's. And to determine which one best represents the data, we talk about, are there any outliers? If there are outliers, we typically use median. If there aren't any outliers, we usually use mean. And if there's data that's not numerical, that's yes or no, or ask for a favorite team, and there's no numerical data, then we typically will use mode.